Critical hit. How's it going, everybody? I shortened the time a little bit because I was pretty much ready. So I figured why have 3 minutes of song when I'm ready to go? How's it going? Nicholas is having trouble with the Hacks add-on. Oh, no. Good evening, Rhinus. How you doing? Edgar, how you doing? Todd, hey, how are you? Lizzie, hello. Craig, Tony, how's the limb? You had a broken leg, right? Or was it an arm? And some of us are chasing squirrels pretty much constantly. Feels like. I wasn't too late, hopefully. All right, Tech Turtle's here, and if you want your DrZzs mugs, he's got them. I got another box of them, too, by the way. Thank you. And I got the other extra one that you had. Well, thank you. Did someone say NodeRED? Yes, Mark, we did. We did. Hey, Stove Doctor. Wesley, how you doing? Robert, how are you? B-Dubs, how's it going? Dave, Nick, all right. Cuba, John, oh, man. Missing some hellos on the way in. How you guys doing? Looking forward to seeing you off the grid show. Thank you very much, Todd. It should be pretty fun. We're cruising along. There's not too much new to show you. A lot of the stuff that we're doing right now is it's very tedious. This part of the dome build. It's very, we're doing this waterproofing and it's like 5 layers and I'm sure it's overkill. I'm sure you could do fine with less, but it's so hard to do that. It's hard to say, oh, I don't think we need quite this much waterproofing, but it's taking a lot of time. So I'm glad you caught it too, Nick. How's it going, Chris? How's North Carolina? Do you guys look at this? This is my weather reporting from AccuWeather. It says it's pouring outside. It's not, though. I mean, it's cloudy, but it's not pouring. Anyways, oh man, how's it going? Tima, how are you? Fiery Dwarf, good evening. Guess he broke his own stream notifications, did I? It's possible. What happened, Chris? I took my own off. All the other episodes have lots of drama. Interested to see what happens. Yeah, Todd, it's true. They do have a lot of drama. They try and build in drama. We've had real drama. They just haven't always been there to see it. Our drama was like the concrete not coming on time, not coming on time, not having the permission to do it. Having to build the road was a big deal. The dome, just making sure we have all the stuff, all the parts and all that. And then we've had weather. We've had plenty of weather drama, like wind when we're trying to put the dome panels up high. You're holding these fiberglass panels like a big sail and maybe 2-3 guys trying to hold it and the wind is blowing, 20 miles an hour and blowing people off ladders, and it's awful. So we've had that to deal with, and rain, and oh man, we hit 90. Not here, man, not here. Oh, sorry, DJ's here. Okay, we can start now. Says we're already starting the squirrels. You should watch the new Mark Rober video. I haven't seen it yet. I usually save those, Andre. I save those to watch with Dawson. And I don't think he's watched it yet, but I haven't. So get some good plugs in for Home Assistant. I hope so too. I don't know if they're gonna. That's a good question. I wonder if I could work something in for that. That would be pretty fun. I don't know. We'll see. We're so into the structure. I have not given enough thought to the innards so far. Is pouring your Home Assistant condition? It's the weather. It's what they think the weather is. Cloudy. We had some rain last night. It went between pouring and rain. Partly cloudy, sunny, partly cloudy, rainy, and now it's pouring. This is pretty good though. This is AccuWeather's new to me. I hadn't tried it before. It was new to me. It was a little cumbersome getting set up. It didn't seem to work right. I got the API code, which wasn't real clear on which one you need, or, it didn't really walk you through exactly the steps, but I figured it out, I thought. But then it didn't actually look like it was working. And then one day it just was working. So it probably just needed some time. 32 in Michigan. Man, it's cold here. Look at that. And by the way, we are going all metric in my house now. It's all Celsius on all the thermostats and all the temperature controls. Ha ha ha. Street Wiz, how are you doing? Hello from India. Shreya, how are you? Belgium, all right. 60-mile-an-hour winds in Wales. Good grief, man. I still haven't got a pole for my wind turbine up there. That wind turbine that I got from Banggood has a hole to mount to a post, but it doesn't give you a lot of flexibility in how big that post can be. So I've got one post that I could use that's a little too small, and I've got one that's too big. I haven't found the right one yet, so I haven't been able to mount it. I'm thinking I might just go with the one that's too small and work on it. So that panel made sense, yeah. Need to do that to my house. Let's not talk about rain. The UK has been soaked for a while, have we? Metrics, you got it, Pablo. You got it. Happy to be on time. All right. Be babbin'. Be babbin'. Wow, why are you going to metric? Because it's awesome. I'm used to metric since MX is all metric. Just wondering, because it's better. It's just better. The degrees, the Celsius versus Fahrenheit, doesn't really matter. What matters on as far as temperatures is just what's comfortable, what's uncomfortable. And so you start to, and I'm still kind of learning, okay, what is comfortable? Comfortable is like 20, 22 is a little warm. I don't know. So, I'm getting used to that, where I can tell you, yeah, 70 degrees is really comfortable, in Fahrenheit. But then, but the other stuff, the lengths and the volumes and those kinds of things, so much better in metric. Oh my gosh. And it's just been brought home to me in a clear way by doing this construction project. Because instead of doing, we got 10 feet, 9 3/8. What the heck is that? And then minus, you got to subtract 11 5/16. Oh, geez, really? Can't we just do centimeters and call it good? Right? It's so much easier. Anyways, did we complete the Hobbit hole? Oh, yes, the dome did get completed. I can show you. Let me, we'll save it for a little bit. Okay, remind me, we'll save it for a little bit and I'll try and do a couple little things. Complaining about Imperial again? Hey, Quindor, how's it going? I'm trying to convince the world, man. Not the world, trying to convince my country one bit at a time within my sphere of influence, which is my house, basically. Hectares. Oh, is hectares? Is that an imperial thing? Is that like so many acres? See the photo I posted in the Hobbit hole in Discord? No, I didn't, Stove Doctor. Let's check it out. And then we'll get to what we actually, because I actually did have something I want to do today. But there's not much to it. So we should have plenty of time for questions and answers and squirrels. Squirrels abound. All right, let's see. The Home Assistant. No, not Home Assistant. The Hobbit hole. Where's the Hobbit hole channel? Why can I not see it? I'm sure it's here. Where'd it go? How am I looking right past it? Notifications, cameras, electric cars. I have so many. Am I looking at the right server? Yes. Okay, Tasmoda. Where'd it go? Almost at 100,000 subscribers. I know. It's creeping along. Oh, a hectare is... Oh, okay. 100 by 100 meters. Oh, I got you. What is this Celsius crap? Hey, Tesla, Joshua, how's it going? Oh, it's so much better, dude. Home Assistant, virtual talking face. Oh, can we give... I don't think so. Shreya, I don't think I've seen that yet, but that would be really cool. Wouldn't that be cool? Thank you, Tal. Yes, I like that idea, though. I like it a lot. Even something that just kind of, when you do, if you do like vocal announcements, like you have your Alexa or your Google Home say something, if you could have something on a screen that moves, with it. I'm thinking like Knight Rider even. What the heck, Tar? I'm going to start using that. Okay. I couldn't find the Hoobit channel. I don't know what happened. Anyways, you have to share it again. Stove Doctor, you have to share it again. Okay, let's do one of the things we were talking about. Xerius, water freeze, 100. Yep, that's right. So easy. Animated background, maybe. But it wouldn't be reactive. It wouldn't be reactive. So the topic says NodeRED. I'm expecting Blade to pop up. When I say I'm going to do NodeRED and I actually do NodeRED, then he doesn't show up. He misses it. All right, Tesla Joshua is moving to a new house. One of the first projects is Shelly modules for all the lights, and then permanent LED strips in the exterior. Your tutorials rock. Thank you. Oh, I felt so good. I had a good friend of mine, Matt, he's the guy that I did in the Hyperion video install over at his house. We went over to his house and installed Hyperion for his TV. And his good buddy of mine was hanging out with him last night, and he had just put up Permatrack and a DrZzs with LED, for LEDs for his dad's house. And he was actually one of the first guys that did it with me way back when I did mine. So I did my house, he did his house at the same time. So we did ours kind of the same with thank you guys. What was that stuff? The track that we used, the J channel, drilling holes and all that stuff. And we didn't know about, or we weren't savvy enough to do logic level shifting, so we had to have the controller right next to the first LED or you lose your signal and it looks like crap. So that was way back then. And then he went over to his dad's house and he got Permatrack from us and he got a DrZzs from me and bought lights from Amazon, I think, and then went over there and did his dad's house yesterday. And then I was talking to him and he was just like, oh, that was so good. That was so much better. Oh, that stuff is awesome. Blah, blah, blah. So it was really fun. It was really good for me to get some good feedback from somebody whose opinion I really think highly of. So, are the DrZzs back in stock? Not yet, but they should be soon, right, Quindor? They should be. I haven't got the notice. Usually when they ship to me, I get a DHL notice, and I haven't seen it yet. So they haven't left, but anytime now. Anytime. I should have them in my hot little hands in a short period of time. And I did modify the website. I might as well show you guys since we're asking, and then we'll get on to what we really talk about, I promise, at some point today. So I did modify these things. So when you go here, sorry about all the ads. I don't even know how to modify them all. I want it to go away. Okay. So when you go here, you can choose the different models. So you can choose one that has an onboard antenna, or you can choose one that has the external antenna, or you can choose one that has, well, right now you can't because we don't have any of these Ethernet add-on boards. Did I get that price right? Yeah, I did, I think. Okay, and then when you do that, you can, once you pick these, oh, nope. And the other thing that I put on here, actually, that's right. So and then this shows you which one you get. So we got nice pictures. When you choose one here, it tells you this picture changes to that one. I was pretty proud of that. Got that figured out. I'm not a website guy, so for me, that's a big deal. And then the quad page does the same thing. Okay, quad page does the same thing. And then for those of you who just want to upgrade, oh, thank you, Tesla Joshua. Thank you very much. Another thing that's on here is the Quinn LED ESP32s. So these are going to be coming in as well. And it does the same kind of thing, whichever one you choose, it changes the picture and changes the price down here. But then with these, you can choose to get them with WLED installed and headers soldered on for a little more, because we have to do that manually here. Otherwise, they'll just come in the bag, in the package, and you'll have to solder on your own headers and do your own flashing. So if you want to do your own flashing, you can choose that there. So, okay. So the website's ready. As soon as those suckers land at my door, we will be live. Okay. Mine was shipped from the worldwide store. Awesome, Fiery Dwarf. That must mean that they're on their way. That must mean that I should be finding out pretty soon. Very soon. Yep. And they're all getting tested now. And with the new ESP32 boards, we have no problems, right, Quindor? I haven't had any. And even the test batch of a bunch of those ESP32s, the custom Quinn LED ESP32s that we sent out to a bunch of people, I haven't had anybody complain or anybody have any problems. Oh, thank you. Oh, this is great. I know what this is. Thank you, baby. This is great. Oh, we might be able to. Woo-wee. Oh, sorry, I bumped the microphone. Oh, we might be able to play with this. If we don't play with it today, we'll play with it next week. I know what it is. Where is it? Here it is. Yes, it's the programmer for the TT Go. Oh, man, that's stronger than usual. It's the programmer for the TT Go thing. Yes. So those TT Go Ethernet ESP32 development boards. Now I got the programmer for it. Yay. Oh, that's great. Sweet. Tastes like China. Wondering how Life360 differs from iOS locations. Let's go right into that. That's a great segue. Thank you much, Mike. That's a great segue. Dental destruction. Oh, you've seen me do it with wires with my teeth, right? Oh man, connect second combi the network to extend the. Ooh, that is a good question, Chris. I don't know, but let's see if anybody else knows. Okay, let's talk about the title of the video. What we said we were going to talk about today. So I had in my other Home Assistant, which I've been dismantling, I have or had a notification that sent out a message over all of our Amazon Echoes and to anybody's phone that had Home Assistant installed and updated, which most of them, I would usually put it on there and then they would let it never get updated and so it would stop working. But then, oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's right. That's our kind of squirrel right there. Thank you, Stove Doctor. Okay. Anyways, I had it set up so that when I leave work, it would send a notification to everybody at home saying I'm on my way home. And the kids, I for a long time I didn't even know if it was working, but when it stopped working, they told me about it. They're like, "Oh, we really missed that. Are you going to make that? Can you fix that? We really like to know when you're coming home." I was like, "Oh, that's really nice. Thank you. Like I'm being missed." Aw. Why NodeRED? Automation UI should be easy. Trigger location, notify. Kuba, only NodeRED because I'm trying to get better at NodeRED. I'm trying to get better at NodeRED and trying to do more with it. So I thought in this case, why not try it with NodeRED this time instead? So we'll see. I know how to do it. In fact, I can probably find it in my old automations folders. So that's what we'll do. Which one is it? This one, yeah. So it's probably going to be, I don't remember if it was in my automations folder or in my automations.yaml. It's probably device trackers, phone charging, nope. Garage, it's here, bedtime, notification, nope. So then if it's not here, then it's got to be my automations.yaml, which means I could do it through the UI, but we'll just look at it here. Okay, so we're going to look at the old automation that I had, and we'll just walk through kind of how it worked. Okay. All right, it was this easy. Here we go. Secrets. Everybody get your screenshots ready. What's happening? Why can't I grab this window? All right. So here it is. This was Dad leaving work. Okay. So the trigger was when the device tracker for my phone went from work to not home. And that only happens when I'm in the work zone and then I leave it. Okay. When that happened, it would do a notify to Alexa, and it would notify all these media players. And this is what it would say. Daddy's left work, should be home in about 30 minutes. Get ready for hugs. And then it would also do a notify. So anybody's phone that was set up to receive notifications, it would also send a notification there. Device tracker instead of person, Kuba. Yeah, that's how I did it. I haven't. Maybe now's the time to play with persons a little bit, and get a feel for how that works. Because if I recall, when you define a person in Home Assistant, you can use several different things, right, to define that person, or several different sensors maybe to give information to that person. The person being kind of like a device with multiple entities in it. Is that right? Jay Juke, is that right? She responds, huh? Call the midwife. Who's having a baby? They want to know how much time they have to sort out all the right. You got it, Yona. You got it. And then person state equals, it's not equal to home. Hey, James, how you doing? It can help to know for sure. You can use other zones. Person uses most recent, so you can have both GPS and Bluetooth, etc. in one trigger. Oh, interesting. Set up a work automation. Boss is almost here. Everyone look busy. Yeah. You should. You totally could, John. That's a great idea. I want to do it. I mean, it worked so well. I would like to expand it and kind of make it work for different things too. You know, mom's on her way home from the store. The kids are on their way home from school, you know, all that kind of stuff. So let us, and another reason for NodeRED. Here's another reason for doing it in NodeRED this time. Because in NodeRED, I have my announcements all set up. So when I do a bedtime announcement, this will announce that it's time for bed, right? Although this one wasn't working for some reason. I don't know what my Google Say ones weren't doing. So we might have to tinker with that today a little bit and get those working. But if I set up an announcement like this, basically I can feed that daddy's coming home message into this. And then I don't have to do anything else. It takes whatever the text of the message is, and it just spits it to all these Alexas, and it's got a time limiter. So it won't do that if it's after 10:30 at night. So it's kind of nice, right? This is basically all my announcements go through this flow. So anytime I want a new announcement, I just have to do the first part of the announcement, the trigger and the message, and then send it to this, and it will finish it out, right? How many times will NodeRED be said in today's stream? I don't know. Everybody gets whatever you get a shot of Dr. Pepper every time I say NodeRED. How did you get the blue theme on Home Assistant? That blue theme on Home... That's going to make me laugh every time. That blue theme on Home Assistant is iOS dark mode light blue, and you get those through hacks. And there's a step you have to do. Is it in your configuration.yaml, guys? I think you have to do something in your configuration.yaml to be able to use themes, or you have to put a folder in, something like that. I can't remember. But to get those custom themes from the community store, there's something you have to do. I wish I could tell you exactly what it was. I don't remember off the top of my head right now. Paul Ebert doesn't have a NodeRED bit, does he? I don't think so. NodeRED! I could ask him to do that. Is that the best use of link object in NodeRED? Thank you, Photochromax. That was actually, I think Blade, of course, he's pretty much been I've had lots of NodeRED gurus, but he's certainly got. I have no automation.yaml, only NodeRED, started fresh. That's a good idea, Mike. And I'm trying to go with most of that. Okay. Never been in a rush to try NodeRED, but we'll see how I feel after this. Okay, good. Yeah, let's check it out. See what you think, Shark Tamer. All right. So let's do we want to do it in a different flow? I think we'll leave it. We'll put it on this same announcements flow. I'm trying to be a little more organized. If you looked back at my previous Home Assistant, I had, I don't even know how many tabs up here. And it was quite a mess. So I have one for sign off. I have one for bedtime. Let's make one for this. So to do that, the first thing I'm going to do is copy this. This is like a subflow. So I'm just going to copy this. Control C, Control V. And sure, we can just stick it right here. This will be fine. And then in here, you just type in what you want it to say. Now, this is a subflow. So this, if you want to edit the subflow, this is what is happening in that subflow. It's really not too much. It's taking an input, taking the whatever you've typed in there and turning it into the, turning the payload into the message. And then it's turning off a binary sensor if you had it set to do a binary sensor, which I have in the past, but for these I've got that because that's a button. So I won't need that so much, but at least I will need, in fact, I probably don't need this whole subflow, do I? All I need is this announcement part. So this is a switch. This is all I need. So this message, or this node, sorry, this is going to be confusing for guys that haven't done much NodeRED. I'm not very good at teaching NodeRED, that's for sure. Because I'm kind of learning it still myself. It's been a few years, but I'm still learning it myself. Okay. This node, this is a change node. Does the little two arrows. This node takes the payload and changes it to a message, or to, message.message, I guess is what it changes it to. And then my announcements, this thing here, yeah, it takes the message. So it takes whatever text you did in there, or it takes the payload as, the payload is whatever I put in, whatever I typed in, and it tells Alexa that that's the message when you're doing her stuff. So that's this part here, right? This message. Okay. Gosh, that was a really horrible explanation, wasn't it? Anyways, I don't need this. I just need this other part inside of the subflow here. So I'm going to copy this one and just put that here. Announcement message. Great. In this case, this one's just going to be Daddy leaving work. Okay. Oh, no, actually, I don't need that. That's not right. I shouldn't do that. Wait a minute. Oh, no, I do need that because that puts the message in there. Okay. Never mind. Dang. See what happens? Let's try that again. I do need this because that's where I put the message. I put the message here. So this is Daddy leaving work. Sorry. Okay. And then I could actually just take the same message because they like to get ready for hugs. They like when Alexa tells them to get ready for hugs. Okay, so I'll put that message in here. And this is where you could say, the boss is on his way, get your crap together, that kind of stuff. Make a blueprint for other scenarios. Yeah, but I don't know how to make a blueprint to be good. To do more with JavaScripting. Okay, cool. But yes, this would be a great blueprint. This would be a nice blueprint. It really would be. Maybe there is. Maybe there is a blueprint out there. Did somebody peek and see? All right, so that's all I need to change for that one. Done. It's going to try and turn off a binary sensor, right? If we go in here, it's going to try and input off. So whatever binary sensor turned it on, it's going to try and turn it off. I can just, in that particular one, I wonder, can I just change just this subflow? Edit subflow template. I don't want to edit the subflow template. If I can edit just the subflow, I think I can. So that's going to be interesting to see what it tries to do. This might not work. Oh, I guess it could. I could still have it do a binary sensor piece. Copy that, paste it there, link that there. Okay. So now if I just do an input, or just like an inject node, just basically to tell this thing to start we can test it and see if it says daddy's left work. Here it goes. That was easy, right? You see how sweet that is? See how fast that was? That was easy, right? And then, so now instead of this as the trigger, because that was just to demonstrate that the back half or the second half of it is working, now we're just going to do the first half. That's not too bad. The first half was really simple, right? It was just an entity state change, right? So it was an event state. This one, I think. Yeah. Change state all events. No. This is leaving dad left work. Okay. So the entity ID is going to be device tracker. Oh, did you guys want to mess with? Well, let's do this and then we'll maybe mess with it. So device tracker, we're going to use the Life360 one, but we'll talk about that. It has to go to and from. Interesting. Okay, so that's going to be a little different because it has the to and the from matter in this case. It's not just on or off. It's not just on or off. So if it is home, but then it changes, so that's not going to be, maybe I don't need that node. Trigger state, yeah, I think you're right. There you go. Trigger state. Okay. Okay, we're going to do the device tracker again. Device tracker Life360. State type. String is fine. Conditions. This entity, current state is. Entity ID. I'm assuming that they don't mean that I have to. Let's try that. Okay. Current state. Ooh. Why can't I? This is interesting. Love the concept idea. I told you last time. I don't know what that means. Morning from Australia. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? So this is so NodeRED's already stumping me a little bit here, right? Because I know how to do it exactly in the automations, but I want to learn this. This is why I'm doing it this way. I know it's a struggle because I don't know, but I'm gonna learn it. Trigger state might change to driving or moving, so you might have 3 inputs. Custom outputs. This entity, current state, previous state. Interesting. Why is it not letting me put anything in there? This entity. Oh, I see. Current state is. Oh, I see. It's down here. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out how this node works. So when I say this entity, is it going to refer to this? It must, right? Not a different entity. It's this entity. So it should be this entity. I shouldn't have to put anything in there. If the current state is work. Okay. If it is work and then it becomes, sorry for the work anywhere, set a variable leaving work, then you get home, check variable, or you can. Previous state work. Okay. Previous state work, current state not home. That's how it works. Okay. 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 That makes sense. Gunnar, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, previous state. Okay, so cool. So this is new, right? New. Yes, you got it. Roland. Okay, and James. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Quite complicated idea using the same chip as Apple. Oh, AirTags and other electronics. It's feasible. Oh, gosh. I don't know what you're... Like store where you left in a variable string or something. Try previous state, then add another condition with current state. Oh, okay. Add another condition with the current state. Oh, I just did that. I didn't realize. I thought it would do another condition up here. So, okay, fine. Sorry, this entity current state is not home. Okay. So when the previous state of the device tracker was work and it changes to not home, then this will trigger, right? I don't need a custom output. I just need a yes or no. Allowed or blocked. And if it's allowed, then it goes there. Okay. Now here's what we're going to try. We're going to go into the developer tools here, and we're going to tinker with my device tracker, and we're just going to set the state. This, for those of you who are asking about the iOS location tracking versus Life360. I've been using Life360, and when I started using Life360, the iOS companion app device tracker was not as good as it is now. So my reasoning for using Life360 has changed, but now I'm into it. And the kids are into it. They watch it. They use it. Janice likes getting the updates about the kids that you can get from Life360. Yes, we could get those through Home Assistant as well, if I had, the Home Assistant companion app on everybody. So I'm going to keep using Life360, but I will tell you that the accuracy of the iOS companion app, and it's probably the same for Android, when it comes to location tracking, has gotten way better. If you go back and look at that old video that I did, and it shows this kind of a history, but it's all jumbled up. I mean, there's tons of different state location changes in there that wasn't usable for something important like this. Life360 is similar. I mean, this is why I liked it, because it was so reliable. I think I have a little bit smaller zone set for home in Life360 than I do for, because this was us going to church, basically. And then depending on which part of the building I sat in, it kind of, because the church is seriously across the field there. But anyways, it's still very good. So if you just wanted to use the companion app to do this thing that I'm doing right now, I think you could do that very well. I think that companion app, the Home Assistant iOS or Android companion apps, the location tracking has gotten so much better that you could reliably use the device tracker for your phones now, when 2-3 years ago you couldn't. I didn't think. Yes, I used the free version, Tony. I just do the free version, and the free version, I think, the only difference is in the pay version, it gives you some extra information about speeds and stuff, which this actually does. Oh, hey, Father Time, the bug is doing great. Actually, the bug, I will tell you, I don't know if I told you this last week. Thanks for asking. But the bug, I did find, I got a wire brush on my grinder. So I was trying to use a wire brush on my drill, and I don't know what the RPMs are of a battery-powered drill, but they're not great, right? 1,000, maybe less. I don't know. They're not great. Then you get a grinder, and it's got 10,000 RPMs or something, So I put a wire wheel on my grinder, and I was much happier with the paint removal. So I had a lot of these little... You lost sound? What? No. I had a lot of these little edges that didn't have all the paint taken out. But when I got that wire wheel on the grinder, then... no. Jijuk. I don't know what that means. Location tracking data, yeah. No, Roland, you're smart. Life360 does collect a ton of information about you, and if you don't want to be giving them a lot of your information, then you certainly should avoid using them. Okay, I totally agree that the Home Assistant developers and having your location tracking information exclusively in Home Assistant is going to be a much better privacy option compared to Life360. That's clear. That's very clear. So for me in that particular case, like I said, I'm into Life360. The kids like it. I'm not going to stop using it. I'm okay if they get our data. And I don't think I don't think there's much of a benefit at all to the paid version of Life360. Yes, and that's what I'm talking about. When I say the companion app, JJuke, that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about the companion app, I'm talking about this. That's what this comes from. So yeah, the location tracking and in the Home Assistant companion apps for iOS and Android are much, much better. I do not use Pi-hole. I do not. Okay. All right. So let's play with the state here. What we need to do is change this state, and we will change it to. Let's just do state right here. Let's just change this to work. Okay. And then set the state. So now it's going to think that I'm at work. Okay. And it does. It thinks I'm at work. Now that we've done that, let's change it to not home and see if that triggers our NodeRED flow. It should. Let's open it up, make sure I deployed it. Okay, deployed. So it says I'm at work, so it's part of it's working. And so then we're just going to set the state to not home, and that should trigger it. Yep, here it goes.
Daddy just left work. He should be home in about 30 minutes. Get ready for hugs.
That was easy. Perfect. Perfect. Ha. Construct and inject node to test with. Yeah, you can do that too. Anyways, I just did it by actually playing with the state, actually changing the state. So that worked. Pretty awesome. Now I'm going to change it back to home because that's where I'm at. Okay. Sweet. Okay, that worked. Okay, we're done. Well, thanks for being here, everybody. Oh, this is the only pie hole I know about, right? Shut your pie hole. I don't know. Yeah, critical hit is right. The amount of ads that gets blocked is unreal. You know, I might have to play with it at some point. I was using AdSense. And I don't know if it was contributing to any problems because my stuff still doesn't work. But I thought maybe AdSense was contributing to some of the problems that I was having with my network. And now I'm not so sure. So, what do you think? Is a whole home ad blocker? Yeah, kind of like AdSense. Sorry, I'm opening up a paper here because somebody sent me something that looks like it looks important, but it's a bill. Oh, recorded deed notice. Oh. Oh, what turkeys. It's a scam. Such a scam. They're like, if you send us 95, they make it look like it's some official thing that you owe money to. If you change you change anything on the deed for property, this company somehow sorted it out that it changed and sent a letter that says, send us $95 to get a copy of it. If you have your car inside work area, you need to add driving as next state as well. Let's see. So how would you add, I guess if you do, so Gunnar, if you do a person, add driving. I see what you're saying, because what you're saying is it's going to, your state is going to be driving, right? I don't think it spins very much. I don't know that it, I mean, because I left Aidendale yesterday at 4:30, and you know, look right away, like that same second, it just called it away, which turns into not home. Maybe there's a different place where Life360 shows you as driving. Oh, here it is. It's driving true or driving false. See that attribute there? Driving true versus driving false. Let me zoom in for you guys. Sorry, make it a little bigger. I think that's what you're getting at, Gunner, right? Driving false versus driving true. So you could do that as well. Great way to start my techie day. Gotta leave for work. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. Have to watch the recording. Thanks for your time working on this. Your videos make me want to use Home Assistant. Thank you, Chris. You're welcome. Have a good day at work, buddy. Use it for DHC personally, UDM Pro because it gets reserved IPs and whatnot. Yeah, I'm not a network master. Had to make a Home Assistant automation to turn Pi-hole back on when disabled. My wife kept asking me to turn it on because I forgot to re-enable. Oh. Confused AdGuard with YouTube AdSense. I don't think so. I don't think so. I was using the AdGuard add-on for Home Assistant back when. Maybe I've turned off the driving state. I don't think it's a state. I think it's an attribute. You know what I mean? Gunnar, I think what happens is your state is going to just be not home, right? In this case, it says away here, but the actual state that shows up when you're away is not _home. Oh, did I call it AdSense? Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, AdGuard. Sorry. I knew what I was thinking up here. I said AdSense. Sorry. But then when you are driving, this state or this attribute, the driving attribute changes to true. So if you wanted to know when you were driving as a trigger, then you would have to set the trigger as the driving attribute going to true, not just the state of the entity. Does that make sense? I think that's how I understand it. I set up so many new things this week. Smoke detector listeners, smart sprinkler control, wall mount tablets, smart door lock interior, personal detection for unified doorbell. Holy cow, Mike, you going crazy. Has anyone been able to figure out how to log leaving and entering zones onto a Google or iCalendar? When I leave work, I would love for it to reflect on a calendar. You know what, Nicholas? There was something like that a long time ago that didn't work very well. So I don't know, but I would love to hear if you guys know of anything that does that. Because what I've done, so I don't know if this is why you want to do it, but what I have done is I would like to track the hours that I'm at work. Okay. This sensor, you've seen, I had this sensor before. I can't believe I was at work for 50 hours this week, but thinking back, it's probably true. But what this doesn't just go like Monday through Friday or Saturday through Sunday. It goes for the past 8 days or 7 days, 7 full days. So that's how this sensor works. So I haven't used it since before COVID. Wow, typing is really bad. You having a hard time, Roland, with the typing? Ooh, what was Nicholas's cool idea? Asking. Oh yeah. 7 days rolling back. Yeah, that's what it does, Photochromax. Thank you. But it would be nice if it did log, because once this is gone, it's gone. I don't have a record of this. So does anybody know about that? I've been using If This Then That, but don't want to pay for their subscription. What sensor is that? This is a sensor that I made myself. Let's see what James has got going here. NodeRED, Node Google. No access various Google services, including calendar, directions, G-coding. Prerequisites must be able to Google API, developer code, auth. Calendar in. Send a message every time an event occurs in a Google Calendar. We kind of want it the other way. Message sent from the node will have priorities. Oh, okay, so you can send a message from the node. Calendar query, calendar out. Create an entry in a Google Calendar. That's what you want. The incoming message can provide the following properties: payload, string, which calendar you want to add it to, and whether or not you want it to notify people. This is cool. So you've been using this? You've been using this, James? Sorry about I know that's really bright, burning everyone's eyeballs out. See you later, DIY Tech and Repairs. Have a good night, buddy. InfluxDB has time series database. The integration. Need to integrate my Alexa in my Home Assistant setup. At present, I only have Google Home integrated. To do what, Tony? You want to be able to tell her to turn things on and off, or do you just want her to say things to you or play music? Because there's the media player. If you want her to do the text to speech or play music, or sounds or something, and then if you want to say turn on the lights, turn off the lights, whatever, then you need the Nabukasa or you have to go through and build your own, basically. Build your own app kind of thing. InfluxDB and Grafana. I like your radio button idea. I use this node. It just takes a while to set the APIs. Okay, there you go. Grafana is good. I would like it to. So this is good. So here's one option, and this was already in the chat there, but I'll post it again. You could use the NodeRED add-on for InfluxDB and store your hours. I'm not going to use InfluxDB and Grafana. I have used them in the past, and I don't use them. And so I'm not going to set it up this time. I'm going to keep this minimal. So if there's not something, if I don't need it, I'm not going to put it in. Yeah, Home Assistant GCal integration for NodeRED. Ooh, what do you got there, Stone Obscurity? So it's the Home Assistant GCal integration for NodeRED. Where do I find that? Link it. Is there a way to scrape the Home Assistant history log for that info? If you've set your recorder to get rid of it after a certain period of time, then probably not. I don't know how far back it goes. It's a good question. I guess you could go, how far back could I go? February 1st? Oh, you're only going to give me a week? Oh no. So let's see how far back it'll go. A week ago. Yeah. So I don't know if I've changed my recorder in this one, but this looks like, I set it all the way back to February 1st for the logbook to see between February 1st and May 31st what was my state as the device tracker. And it looks like a week ago was about as far back as it would go. Dad was detected as away. Dad. Maybe I do have a person named Dad. We should play with persons too. Why not learn to use it? It's super easy. I'd be happy to help if you need. Also, if you need any help with the code. You mean this? You mean this one? Why not learn to use this or something else? Save hours in a text file. Call service to add to calendar. Really? Oh, because like this calendar. Because there's a calendar here, right? Where did it go? Back over. Maybe I took it off. I probably told it not to show it up over here because I wasn't using it. Well, let's check that out. So really, there's a calendar. So that's if I start the integration, huh? So I'm using a Home Assistant statistics sensor to know how long I've been at work. Yes, Craig, that's what I'm doing. So we can look at the what I have for that sensor. It's right here. It's just a min-max. Oh, no, that's not it. But it's close. History. Here it is. So it goes back 7 days and tells me how many hours I've been at work. Keaton's here. Hey, Keaton. Yeah, this is running on my blue. My old one is not going to do... I mean, you could hardly use the logs on the old one. You could certainly hardly... Like what I just did where I searched real quick and got several months or tried to get several months worth of data. Yeah, it would be bad. Call service to add to calendar. I want to know more about this, Mark. Tell me about it. Where do we find the thing for it? Just using the standard Home Assistant GCal integration, then using NodeRED to do things based on calendar events. Can you add something to the calendar though, Stone Obscurity? I think somewhere because Home Assistant does have a calendar, right? Over here now? They put a calendar in. Yeah, so they've got a calendar here. And I think I just probably wasn't using it, so I took it off the side of I took it off of here. History, home, hacks. So where was that? Is that in here somewhere? I'm sure I was playing around with it, and now I can't. I don't remember where it was. There's tokens, notifications, configuration, logs, zones, people, Lovelace, dashboards, tags, helpers, scripts, scenes, automation, blueprints, areas, entities, devices, integrations. Where is it? I don't think it's here. Blueprints, automation, scenes, scripts, helpers, tags. Zones, users, general. Could be under general. Controls, logs, info. Can add events. Google.add event. Okay, well then let's go to this and let's see if we can find this Google Calendar. Is it in hacks? Maybe it's in hacks. Hey, D-Dub. In menu and edit menu. Okay, thanks. Integrations. Let's see if we can find. Google Calendar. Explore. CSV node to save the data. It's too complex to set up. Also created quarantine history stat so we can see if I was out too much during the week. Oh, that's awesome. Well, that's really useful. That's really useful. This having a thing that tracks you where you are and reports back how long you were in a certain place is actually pretty useful. Oh, long press hamburger menu. Okay. Is that the hamburger menu? Do. Oh, I'm explore. I'm doing like 5 things at once. This is not good. Not good, not good. Explore. It's not here. I probably have to add the repository, right? This one. Ah, there it is. Yep. And then I probably took it out. So, how do I put it back? See, I can take those ones out, like the media browser and things, but since I already took it out, how do I get it back in? This is all to who was it that was asking? Going to use the statistics to see how much hours I'm wasting watching your live streams on YouTube. No, don't do it, Roland. Don't do that. You don't want to know. Or you need to set up GCP project too. I don't know if that's true. It was you, Nicholas. Okay, we're doing it for you, man. Yeah, you might. No, those are just. Yeah, those aren't moving. What's wrong with you, Shark Tamer? Those aren't moving. Supervisor, add-on store. Yep. Nope. Unless I have to. Yeah, add a repository. All this for a simple question. You see what happens, Nicholas? Sometimes it's just you got to be careful what you ask. Am I going to use Influx or MariaDB? Not right now, John. Not right now. I'm not going to use Influx. I might use MariaDB, but I think that the database, the default database in Home Assistant has changed a little and it's better. I had used MariaDB in the past in place of the official one, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time. Gosh, I wonder if I should put that, James. That might be kind of fun. Integrations Google Calendar. To know how, I don't know if I want to know how much I'm not home. That would probably be bad. Okay. Google Calendar platform allows you to connect your calendars and generate binary sensors. Sensors can trigger based on an event on the calendar or only a matching event. When you first set up the integration, it will generate a new configuration file in your configuration directory that will contain information about all the calendars. I've used this. So you have to generate a client ID and a client secret. Okay. Google Calendar's console asks you to set up a project, so you do have to go through and do that. I think I did this on my other one. How about just in Home Assistant? Is there not a way to do it just in Home Assistant without using Google Calendar? Can it just keep it in the Home Assistant calendar? Maria is relational, like SQLite and others. Influx is more time series data. Once it's set up, it's solid, yeah. Don't know if I asked this, but why is Life360 when you use Home Assistant Companion? So KRAD, I explained it at the beginning, but I'll happy to repeat. There was a time where the location tracking of the Home Assistant Companion apps for iPhone and Android phones was not very reliable. The location tracking was not very reliable. It was very sporadic. It was very, it was unreliable. That was years ago, and it's gotten much better. And now you totally could. So I got in the habit of using Life360, and everybody in the family uses Life360, and it has been easy for me to put Life360 on their phones and just let it be, and they don't have to, use Home Assistant Companion app on their phones for me to track them. So we're integrated into Life360 now as a family, right? That we use it, and so since it's already on everybody's phone and they like it, they actually like knowing where everybody is, and they check it where they're a bit more afraid to ever open Home Assistant. So they would not open Home Assistant to check where somebody is, but they'll totally open Life360 to check where mom or dad or the brother or sister is. So that's why I'm using it now. I'm using it now just because we got in the habit of using it when years ago the iOS and Android companion app location tracking wasn't very good. Now it's good. Now that same reason doesn't exist. So you can use it if that's what you want to use, and if you can get your people that you want to track in your life to also use the iOS companion app, then great. But we're just doing this. Why are we trying to do the counter, Kuba? We're trying to do Nicholas. Nicholas asked a question and ruined everything. 99% chance because you don't have a local domain and they are scared of typing in IPs. Might be. That's how they get you when it's a habit. That's so true, Roland, right? They get you for free. I was thinking about Pandora. I was remembering the days, gosh, a dozen years ago or more when Pandora was totally free. Remember when Pandora was, they were just still collecting data. They'd collected data for years where it was like, oh, here's this free internet radio. And you just listen to it and there was no ads. And what they wanted you to do was you picked a song or a person or whatever. And then they would play more songs and they wanted you to tell them if those songs fit that same style, right? So if you chose Elvis and then they played Metallica, you thumbs down Metallica and you thumbs up whatever, Chuck Berry or whatever sounds like Elvis, right? Or acts like Elvis fits in your choice when it comes to that. So they collected all that data for years and years, and then they just got everybody used to using it and dependent on it. And then they started charging for it. And then they started selling ads. And now they're like mega company, right? Anyways. Nicholas has joined the Squirrel Club. We are so all over it. If it's for free, then you are the product. Yeah, that's probably true. You were the human checking their ML. Yeah. The Google counter needs to be configured in YAML, and then it will be added to the home system counter. Yeah. Panda Boy, I have used it, and on my other one, I don't think I'm going to integrate it again this time. I'm trying to keep things pretty simple. Tycho, what's up, buddy? How you been? If you have Android devices and want to go extreme, you can still you can install NodeRED on Android and use Termux to integrate phone sensors into it. Wow. Mark Sutton says he found the Google one is solid. Well. So what we were trying to do with the calendar is just log location over time. So this all started because we're doing, we did this NodeRED thing, or we're doing this tracking of me, right? Of my location. So we're tracking my location for the kids and Mrs. Z, so they know where I'm at. And specifically so that they know when I'm coming home from work. And what we were also doing, that brought up the sensor that I have that shows how long I've been at work for the week. But this is a history sensor and it only goes back 7 days. So it doesn't tell me how many hours I worked in January, February, because that data's gone. So what we were brainstorming, what we're talking about, people are throwing out ideas and I'm kind of halfway looking at some of them, is a way to collect that kind of data and keep it longer, right? So if it was in a calendar, so you could say, oh, this calendar, all these specific dates, I was in this specific location for this amount of time, and it keeps it there. Ricardo, what'd you find? Hey, 4Tracks. How my front door snapshot to display on my TV when someone rings the doorbell. So awesome. How did you do it, 4Tracks? How did you do it? Utility meter? What's that for, John? Is that a Michigan hat you're wearing, by the way? Can't tell exactly. Looks like you're at a football stadium. Might be maize and blue, I see. Okay, what was the other things that we were just going to do? We could, what are some other location things like that we could do? When you do, a nice thing about the Life360 integration, but whether you use Life360 or whether you use the Home Assistant companion apps, is the map part. And I know you're going to know where I'm at, and that's fine. You can know where I'm at. It's funny because East Red, what is this? Oh, that's where Janice's mom lives. Anyways, we have zones, right? We've set up lots of zones. So we've got, this is our house. This is the elementary school, the junior high, the high school. This is the gym where the girls have their, gymnastics. This is where they do the theater practice. down here. Oh no, this is the other gym. This is where Zoe does her gym. Anyways, showing you guys all this stuff. There's theater practice down there. There's Idaho way up here. There's my work is located here. And then our Idaho stuff is way up here, right? That's where that is. So you can make these new zones, and I would definitely recommend you make the zones here. It's so much better when you make the zones here than when you make them in the YAML. I'm wondering why it's not showing. Why is it not showing us at home? Maybe it is. I'm just not, because we're not zoomed in. Yeah, it should be showing us on this map. Kind of surprised it's not. Anyways, what would be some other things we could use for somebody coming in and going out? Ooh, the Zigbee. Only works on Android TVs being used behind Walmart buying counterfeit Xiaomi Zigbee sensors sold by Polymer. They disappear when you're home. Oh, that makes sense, Thanasis. That totally makes sense. I totally agree. Tile works as well, and I've used tiles. But the problem I always had with tile was the battery. I tell you what I would like to do, and I want to talk to Mike, RGB Mike, about when they send our shipments of stuff, like big stuff, like we're 5,000 or 25,000 feet of permatrack. When they send that, I would like them to just take for another $10 or $20, take a Xiaomi sensor, a Xiaomi GPS sensor, and throw it in the stupid box and give us, link it to our account so that we can know exactly where that bleeping thing is all the time, right? I can look at my Xiaomi app and it will tell me where the dang thing is. That's what I would like. For another $20, I mean, when you got that kind of merchandise on the ocean, you'd really like to know where the heck it is. So we're going to talk about that. You're at the grocery store to ask if Mrs. Z's needs anything. Oh, that's so nice of you, Chris. You're such a good man. Titles with replaceable batteries now. Oh, tiles with replaceable batteries. Yeah, I think I might have one, but I haven't replaced the battery. Would that work if it's a steel container box? Good question, Tony. Probably not. Ceiling fan controller. Yusuf wants to know about ceiling fan controllers. I don't know anymore. Used to be the Sonoff iFan 3, but I don't know anymore. How many solar panels I have? 39. 39 solar panels. And right now it's kind of cloudy, and we're producing almost 3,000 watts. That's not bad. It's in the canal, yeah. Yeah. The storage container might not work, huh? Yeah. I know that they do send us every once in a while. Like they sent us a picture when it was just off the shore or just off the coast in California last week. So they have it. Somebody has GPS tracking on the boat at least. But I would like to see it. I want to know where it is. I'm taping on the outside of the container. I don't know. Anyway, what else should we do, guys? Let's see. What else should we do? I did see that Apple has them. Tell me what's better about the Apple AirTags. Is the Apple AirTags somehow going to be better than Tile or the generic Xiaomi ones or anything else? Find out which port your shipment arrives in the US when they unload it. Yeah, that's true too. And maybe even if it's just you track I can track it until it's on the boat. And once it gets unloaded, I'll know it's unloaded or something like that. I don't know. My ESP32s with DHE20 stop sending data every 2 to 3 hours and need a restart. Anyone know why? Ooh, that's a good question. Is the ESP32 going to sleep office data? Is it going to sleep? Or is the Wi-Fi going to sleep on it? That sounds, because I don't think the DHT22s are smart enough to do anything like that. So it's got to be an ESP32 thing. Maybe for some reason it's turning them off or shutting them down to try and save power or something else. So maybe some other setting that's turning them off. Apple Tag Mesh Network for location data is much better. So how are they doing that, James? Are they doing it with everybody else's Apple tags? Everybody else's iPhones? Or is it just your own? Not just Bluetooth? None of them do that unless you program that. Watch my stuff get stuck. The ESPs and the OWD is working fine without restarts. Interesting, but a restart fixes it, huh? I don't know. What else? Needs a resistor? Okay, try that. Tile relies on other users having the Tile app to help, but now you have the whole Apple network with iPhones. Okay, so Tile does the same thing, but not as many people have Tiles. Apple, because everybody's got Apple, it works. Interesting. You haven't got the resistor. So there you go. That might be a thing to try for sure. Where does that resistor go? Apple tags use Apple devices for location. So how much do Apple tags cost? That's my next question. My next question is Apple tags. Price. 4-pack for $60? Oh, that's Tile. I was going to say, that's actually really good. That's Tile. $30 for one of them. Tiles weren't too much less than that. And are they super small? And it goes in the right direction? Okay, so do I need these? Is that what you guys are telling me? Privacy built in? You can only see where your AirTag is. Location data is never stored on the AirTag itself. Devices. A real location of your AirTag, also anonymous. Okay, so this is pretty cool, huh? I should buy these. Maybe when they go on sale at Christmas. 4 for $99 is not bad either. $25. That's not bad. Yes, I do need them. The new king. Yeah, it sounds like I totally see, because there are so many iPhones, right? Because there are so many iPhones, it makes a lot of sense that the data would be more accurate. You have to buy a carrier with them? Oh, you mean like this? To put them in? Or sticky? Yeah. Oh, iPhone 11 or newer. It won't work for me. Upgrade challenge. There's nothing from Apple you actually need. You got that rolling. You got that right, buddy. I don't need any of this. All right, where was I going with this? I don't remember. I guess we did what we came to do. We did what we set out to do. I was going to tell you. I've got a few things that we can talk about. We'll go a little bit longer today, but there's a few things I can talk about for next week. So next week is Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. That's a holiday for us where everybody gets Monday off. So I'm off Monday. So we're going up to the Hobbit Hole we're going up tonight, me and Mrs. Z's, and we're going to work tomorrow on doing some tedious waterproofing stuff. But then we're going up on Friday night, and on Saturday they're filming us again. The TV people are filming again. And then on Sunday I'll still stream, but we'll be up there. And I'll actually stream over the what do you call it? Starlink next Sunday. Oh, stream using Starlink. Oh, James, your dad passed away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, if I don't know where in Idaho, but if you're in Southeast area near Preston, come say hi. You're not very old, so your dad must have been pretty young. I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, so far I've been really happy with the Starlink. I was watching a show because I was up there by myself on Friday night, and I was watching TV at like midnight, and it did cut out for a few minutes, but it got better. You ready for the Hobbit Hole picks? Streetwise, we're far enough into it now that I don't think the TV people are gonna watch it. 63. See, that's way too young, man. Dang it, that's way too young. Sorry to hear it. Was it a surprise? Was it unexpected? I think at 63 it should be unexpected. Apple's only 24% of the market. I guess it probably depends where you are, right? It wouldn't be, if the majority of the people where you are don't use iPhone, then it wouldn't. Diabetes complications. Man, that sucker. Diabetes is a bad mother. It's a bad mother. Missed part because the kids. This is the Q&A period. It is, P. Babin. It is. It's time to ask questions because I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Not that I did much else besides ramble the rest of the time. I was going to show you Hobbit hole pictures. We could do the live camera first. That's always fun. We'll do the live first, and then I'll show you the... So I took some pictures of the inside because I realized I hadn't... Oh, not this. Can I just not open? Okay, good. Okay, so there's the live view right now. It's a little windy. It's a little cloudy. This is my wonderful Reolink camera. I finally sent the Reolink guys some picture or some links to parts of live streams where I talked about how much I love their cameras because they're harassing me, giving me a hard time. You never talk about our cameras. And I said, oh, I love your stuff. I tell you all the time, but I talk about you, but you don't know. What we've had to do that has been so tedious and so horrible. See, every one of these white dots is a bolt. All the way across the top up there too. Every one of them is a bolt. And for a variety of reasons, I guess, for probably waterproofing, but also maybe rust prevention or something, they've told us we need to put waterproof kind of sealant, like very high performance caulking, basically polyurethane paste on every one of these screws. There's like 2,000 of these screws. And so we've had to go through and put a little bit of caulking on each one of these. And then they're all the way around the perimeter, around the bottom too, and all through up here. So it takes forever. And then what we were doing yesterday and what I'm going to end up doing tonight, possibly in the dark, is putting on a tape. So a waterproof tape on each of these seals. So we've done a good part of them yesterday. I started at this corner and came this way. Oh no, I started at this corner and went around the back and then came up the front. Waterproofed all those. Went around this top line here yesterday, and now we still have to do all the top and the back side of that line. Ugh, just kills me. Just so painful. Duct taping. Do I have solar panels there? Not yet. Is that the top floor? Yes, Ofer. That is the first floor, and then there's a basement underneath it. My horizon is off, I know, Nicholas, but that thing's up on like 20 feet of PVC pipe, and I want to take it down to fix it. It's so high up in the air, and I put like two wires or two ropes, to try and keep it stable. So it's more stable than it could be. Plasti dip, yeah, pretty much, Chris. It's kind of like what we're doing. Automation in NodeRED that triggers delay node to shut down the kid's EV truck every 8 hours. Oh, that's right. Was this P. Babin? You were going to ask me before, right? You were going to ask you. Was that you? Was that you that asked me to? You said, can we talk about a question? And it was about a timer, right? That's a good one. Let's time it. What's this? Oh. Video 104. Oh, Stone Obscurity. I will watch it. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Yes, P. Babin, that is you. P. Babin. And so he asked this question right there, but this is for everybody, okay? Because I want to know the answer to this as well. And he asked me very, very kindly a couple times to bring this up on the stream so we can get some input from people. Let's see. And the question had to do with what he asked right there. Trying to find out if the remaining time on the 8-hour charge of the EV Monster truck. So a timer in a Home Assistant dashboard based on a delay node in NodeRED. So let's see. I have not seen the new Sonoff Dual R3. Did I? Yeah, I think I did. I actually talked about it a while back, I think, on one of the streams. Okay, let's see if we can answer P. Babin's question. Automation in NodeRED. that triggers a delay node to shut down the kid's EV truck charger after 8 hours. Do I have a way to have a countdown timer? All right, so what he wants to do is when he plugs in the kid's truck to charge, you want a timer to start, or you want to start the timer. And you want to know when that timer has been, when it gets to 8 hours, basically, right? And then have it turn off the charger after 8 hours. Well, I have a simple mind, and so when I'm thinking about, well, what you want is to display it, right? You want to display it. Because you can do it lots of different ways, and I think what you probably already have the switch and stuff figured out, right? So you have like a smart plug that's got current reading on it, and that's how I would do that. And then you could turn it off. You could turn the relay off, and that would turn it off. That's fine. But what you're specifically asking for, if I recall, is you want a timer displayed, right? Trigger and a timer based on that power socket monitor, right? Okay. So you want a timer based on that. You could do, and this is just one, and then, again, I'm only saying this because this is I'm thinking about what we've been doing today. If you look at the history stats, so this history stats hours in the week, you could do something like this that tracks the time that it's in a specific state, right? So you could do it so that it tracks the time that's in a specific state, but that's still not giving you everything that you need. What you want is you want it displayed. You want a countdown timer displayed. What do you guys know? Big Timer has a countdown and output duration. Let's look at Big Timer. And it sounds like P. Babin does use NodeRED. So this is going to be the lab. I'm calling it the lab because this is where I will do experiments. So we'll do Big Timer here and see. I don't know much about Big Timer, but it has an output. Output on startup, repeat output. Time on time. I don't know how to use Big Timer, but maybe these guys do. Big Timer has a countdown and add and an output duration. How do you get it displayed on Home Assistant? So Lovelace timer card. What's it look like? Lovelace Home Assistant that shows a timer and its controls. Yeah, let me try this. Let's just see before we do that what other ones there are. Display remaining seconds of a timer in the front end. Is this you asking, or this must be somebody else asking? What are we breaking? Displaying a timer, a countdown timer. So message.duration out of Big Timer to MQTT. Okay, so that'll get you the number. Stopwatch timer. You need to sleep, Photochromax. Have a good night, bud. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your help today. Thanks for your input. Appreciate it. You sent a link. All right, Brendan sent a link. Create a countdown timer. Oh. I'll post this here. Helper timers, but I've never used them. Main thing is he's trying to get it to display a card, so he would have to create a helper timer that gets a payload from the charging state to set the timer. So you have, so he needs this entity that's a timer. So let's play around with that for a minute. I'm not going to play around with that in the blue. I'm going to play around with that in my old one. Okay, let's go here and just see what helpers do. Helpers, and then add a helper, and then add a timer. Never really added a timer before. Oh! Huh. Okay, we'll say EV truck. Icon, MDI truck. I don't know if that is one. Yes, it is. Duration, we can put 8 hours probably. Create. But you don't want, oh, maybe you do want that. Let's see. Input. Where did my trigger timer go? Timer. Gosh. Timer. EV truck timer. Oh, and then you just start the timer. Interesting. Okay, so if we go here and we just tell it to add it to Lovelace, is that still a button here? Where's the add to Lovelace button? I guess it's gone. Okay, well, so we created a timer that's 8 hours. I guess you could probably timer start. Yeah, I'm going to say there's probably a service to timer start. So you could tell your plug, when your plug hits, a certain current, then it sends the command to start the timer. Okay. I want to see what this looks like. If we just do an entity and we just do a timer entity, what does it look like? Huh. Idle. But if we add the timer, then you can hit it and hit start, and then it will display. Sets a timer that turns on and off crap in his house that he doesn't remember about. This is his family. That's pretty much it, Raspy. That's pretty much it. But you could do, so then once you've got that, now the service calls, you're probably going to have a timer service call, right? Oh man, see how jacked up this one is? Eesh. Timer, start, finish, cancel. So timer start, and then in data here, you probably just have to put, oh look, you could add the duration right here. So you don't have to add the duration. You could add the duration in the service call. Why the timer is needed, Albert? The timer, this is specifically for one of the viewers, P. Babin, who was asking about a display for a timer. So he's plugged in his kid's electric truck. He wants to have a timer displayed, a countdown timer displayed that is 8 hours long, so he knows when it's done. Asking how long it would take to charge the truck. That's probably why, Roland, right? Dad, is my truck charged yet? I don't know, honey. What time did we start it? I don't remember, Dad. So what other, so there's reload, cancel, finish. You could probably, and then you could P. Babin, when you do it this way, if you set that helper timer, once that timer is over, it will probably go back to, idle. So when the state changes to idle, when the state goes from, like right now, the state is Let's look at what the state is. The state is, I guess it's a number, right? The state is a number right now. And so when the state goes to idle, then you can make an alarm go off. Okay, active. There it is. So the state is active right now. So when the state goes from active to idle, then you know it's done. And it can sound the alarm for the kids to go ride their truck. So when you plug it in, so this is how I'm feeling the flow right now. This is what I'm imagining, and you guys probably have better ideas or other ideas, but you plug it into a smart plug. The smart plug detects that there is a certain amount of current being drawn through it. Okay? Or you click the button if that's how you do it. And when it detects that there's above a threshold of current, that activates the timer. You can, when it activates it, you can also set it to the duration, if the duration is not always going to be the same. But if the duration is always going to be the same, you can just set that timer with that duration as the default. The 8 hours like we did. Hopefully that's 8 hours, not 8 days. Yeah, it's minutes, seconds. Yeah. Okay. So you set it for 8 hours. And then when it's over, you can make the lights go off and make Alexa tell the kids that it's done. Timer finished events will be fired when it reaches 0. Oh, okay. So that's an event. Timer finished, huh? So you could do it that way too. Oh. Yeah. Anyways. That's how I would go about it. Once the car is charged anyways. That's true, Shark Tamer. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Might not always take out 8 hours. That's a good point. That's a good point. Have I taken a look at OwnTracks? Yes, I used OwnTracks a long time ago. OwnTracks was location tracking before Life360. I used OwnTracks. In fact, I think I did a video about OwnTracks many moons ago. Is that like culturally insensitive to say many moons? I hope not. Yeah. Yeah, I used OwnTracks a long time ago. That was before Life360. That's what I used. And I can't remember. I guess Life360 just had more stuff. So yeah, I think P. Babin, I think they're onto something here. I think this idea that when the smart plug current draw drops back down below a certain threshold, then you trigger it. What that doesn't do is give you a countdown. You know, if you want a countdown because you want the kids to not play with it for 8 hours or something like that, then that's different. But if you want to actually know when it's charged, that's what I think that's a great idea. I think these guys nailed it. Way to go, guys. Sounds like the same scenario as the typical, tell me when my washing machine has finished automation. Yeah, it is. I didn't think about it that way initially because I was just thinking about the timer, but yeah, you're right. Wi-Fi based bolt voltage monitor. HomeKit set my alarms when my kids leaves the house. Is that what you have it done? HomeKit? You need to listen for them, not fire them yourself. Yeah, Thanos' events. I've only been using them for Zigbee stuff way back when. How's it going, Mr. D? You do?
I have
Do that one.
2 grades. And if I turn everything in, I can go.
Oh, okay. Dawson's got to get 2 assignments in for school. If he gets them in today, then he'll have all A's in all his classes, and then Mom will let him come up with us tonight and skip school tomorrow. Oh, okay. You got to get it done. Yeah, yes. Okay. All right. He's going to do it. Most of Arizona and some of California has not cable or Ethernet or internet. Not going to be fixed to late Monday night. Oh, really? That's crazy. Most of Arizona and some of California doesn't have internet? What? In the timer early if the charger's done? Watch my Dr. Pepper, yeah. He needs some juice. He needs some brain juice. All right. So a couple other things. When we started talking about Miros bugs. Well, I don't know about that. Handling push notifications. I don't know about good resources for Miros bugs. I will go. I don't think Sir Goodenough's here. So keep Sir Goodenough in your thoughts and well wishes. Poor dude's got a bad leg right now. He's got a wound on his leg and it's not healing very well, and he's having a lot of pain. He's got cellulitis infection in, and that's bad. So hopefully he's doing okay. So he usually keeps me on track for things like answering questions that were put into the questions tab. Looks like somebody else may have been doing it. Figure out how to log events. Okay. So we started with Nicholas's question there about figure out how to log leaving and entering zone events into Google Calendar. So we talked about that a bit. I can't say we came up with a great answer, but we gave you a couple new options to play with, and a couple guys here that do something like it that maybe you could check with. And this is for another for Nicholas. Is he still here? Does the Hacks Sonoff integration still work? Bought a new Sonoff plug to automate dimming the living room lights when watching TV, but having trouble installing and seeing the Sonoff entities. Good question. Do you guys know? What do you know about the Sonoff integration in Hacks? I'm sure he means Sonoff LAN. I don't know. Oh, what, where, who? Okay, sorry. If you already had a smart plug without power monitoring, that's true. If you didn't have power monitoring, if you know it takes 8 hours, you choose simply smart socket. Use a state that's on the timer starts. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be smart socket if you're just going to use the timer. Okay, what I was talking about, what I was going to say is topics for next week, because I'm just thinking about a couple things that are coming up. Oh, it's an S31. Okay, the S31 is. I love the S31, by the way. It was a good one. It was a good one because you didn't have to destroy it to get inside of it. Flash it manually. Has anyone had a Hacks crash recently? This one is messed up. I don't know why this one is messed up. That's my old home assistant that I don't always use. And I think we determined that it's working on this one because I looked at it. Yeah. Make sure you're up to date on everything, I guess. It's the big key. You don't have the stuff to flash it? Oops, sorry, bud. Okay. So a couple things to think about for next time. One of them is the automatic garage door opener. So nobody's asked me for a long time what is my favorite automation or what's my favorite project, but I don't think it's changed. I'd have to spend a little bit of time about it. But the one that it has been forever is the MQTT car presence. So MQTT car presence, this is one where you have a little D1 Mini in your car that's plugged into a powered USB port. And when you turn off your car, the power to that USB port turns off. So that's the criteria that you need. If you have a power in your car, like cigarette light or something that stays on all the time, that's not going to help. It needs to turn off when your car is off, turn on when your car is on. So you get this D1 Mini, you put this software on it, and then you set up an automation in Home Assistant. And then when you go out to the garage and turn on your car, it waits a minute or less and the garage door opens. When you are coming home, the garage door opens. When you've left the house, the garage door closes, right? When you're coming in, it opens. When you turn off your car in the garage, it closes. So it's perfect. It works so well. And I've loved it, and I've been using it since March of 2018. Wow. I've actually been using it since December of 17, probably, but did the video about it in March of 18. And it was one of my best projects ever. It's been updated, and it's Luma, who's the same guy that does the HA switch plates. And he updated the HA switch plates. We had him on the live stream a while back, and he was talking about all the updates for the HA switch plate. And the biggest part was blueprints, that he set it up so that the HA switch plates would use blueprints. Well, he's now also gone in and changed the MQTT car presence so that it will use a blueprint. So that's pretty cool. Now, I don't know if he has changed the code. Included Arduino code set up to work with Home Assistant MQTT discovery, automatically create a binary sensor. I wish this was the one thing though that I still would like to. I wonder if he's changed. But anyways, this is a thing that I need to do. I want to do this a different way. And here's the problem. Yeah, this is what I would like to see somebody change. And this is the part that I think keeps other people from using this as much as they would if it was different. In most of these devices, we are used to plugging it in and it creates an access point. You go into the access point, you put in your information, and then it connects to your network, and then Home Assistant can detect it, and your MQTT sensor can connect it, and all that stuff. With this one, it looks like it's still, you have to go into the Arduino IDE and edit the sketch with your Wi-Fi and your MQTT broker information, and you have to change the max packet size. I think we could do better. I think we can fix that part. I think if we can make a compiled binary file. Let me see though. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I shouldn't say he hasn't. Let's go see here if he's got a compiled binary. No, he doesn't. So it's mqttcarpresence.ino. So what we need to do is go in there and somebody with some more knowledge than me, because I can't do that, go in there and basically make a setup access point so that when you plug it in, it creates an access point you can easily enough add those things without having the Arduino IDE and changing the max packet size and all that stuff. Anybody want to do that? Anybody sign up for that? Couldn't I use a Pixel Pro or DrZzs instead? I don't know. I'm missing everything you're just talking about. For what? Why are you using a D1 Mini Pro with antenna in yours? Oh, I could use whatever. Yeah, you could use whatever. You could use an ESP32, you could use a Pixel Pro, you could use yeah, you could. But this doesn't have anything to do with lights. No one set stream mode to true, I see. Oh, really? Did I show something I wasn't supposed to? I don't know. Sorry, reload, always number update device list every time Home Assistant starts. Query, you need to have reload true in the config. Okay, cool. I'm glad you guys are sharing and talking to each other. Instead of lights, just for presence. Yeah, that's right. This is just for presence detection. It's not for lights. But you could, if you could just incorporate some of this code, which really doesn't do much. You could, basically all it's doing is it's detecting, the MQTT is detecting when this device connects and when it leaves the network. So when it connects to the network, it gets an MQTT payload, sends a message. When it leaves, it sends a message. And that's all it does. And then all you do with the automation in Home Assistant is when it connects, then you toggle the garage door. When it disconnects, you toggle the garage door. Or you open it and close it. You could put it that way too, but that's basically how it works. It's so simple. It's one of my favorites because it's so simple and it works. Near 100,000 now, Henrik, are we? We're getting there. I think if I would actually publish some videos, we'd been there already. But since I haven't actually published any videos in a while, I've just been doing live streams, which is great. And I love doing live streams, and it gives me some content that's new out there every week. But I think if I would publish an actual video, I'd probably already be there. That's what I mean. If the Pixel Pro is already connected to your Wi-Fi, don't hook it up to lights. Just use it for presence. It's already in your Home Assistant SWLED. Yeah. It would be, you'd have to change. What else would you have to change? I wonder why I mean, I guess he's using MQTT instead of just using like, an N map or something. What is the, are you okay?
I'm just confused.
You can take it again though. Okay. What is it? Math? Oh, good. We can do math. Math is easy. Oh, hey, Sir Goodenough. How you doing? Forgot the new time. Oh, sorry, man. Hey, how you doing? We were just talking about you and we were saying how you weren't here. And we were hoping that everything's going okay. Car telemetry for presence detection that shows the previous community highlights. Couldn't you also add the car telemetry for presence that was just shown? Oh, car telemetry. I don't know. I don't think I know about this car telemetry. I know for sure, one of the things I know for sure is that the Home Assistant or that the MQTT car presence system works wonderfully. And I've been using it for a long time and I love it. So I'm sure there are other ways to do something similar, but I know that works and I know that it's worked well and I like it. Still got the cellulitis. Bummer, man. Well, hopefully they don't have to do any poking. Just take some antibiotics and take care of things. Don't they come up as devices? No entity. What? This didn't work. Oh, of course, as soon as I go away from it, it works. If you couldn't get live data from your car and feed it that into Home Assistant. So if your car has something, reasons for integrating car telemetry. So this is yeah, if you have an OBD2 connected to your car, then yeah, that would be really cool. You could get a lot of information in there. You could also probably use Life360 or the Home Assistant app, right? And just when you're home, when you're not home. So when I go, but the thing is, no, that wouldn't work. You couldn't use Life360 because when I get in my car in the morning and turn my car on, I want my garage door to open. And I won't have gone from home to not home until my garage door's open and I've left. So scratch that. You can't use Life360. You could use something like this if this thing reported to Home Assistant when your car starts. It's a little sensitive on time because you do want it to open fairly quickly. I have an electric car, so it doesn't matter. I sit in my car. If it takes 30 seconds or whatever, I just check my email one more time or, do something else, get my audiobook playing or something. But if you have a gasoline car and you're driving, you turn on the engine in your garage, you don't want it to run for 5 minutes before the garage door opens. That would be no good. We need to have DrZzs sick wing for us broken and damaged deals. For sure, man. So now if basic on the ignition, all cars after 1985 should have the OBD2 port, right? Yes. But you still have to have the sensor connected to it, right? And connected to your house. Yeah, when it turns on and opens the garage door. So there's lots of ways to do this, but I want to use the I got away from it. I want to use the blueprint, and I want to use the. Are we talking about making your garage door open when you start your car? Yes, Sam Phoenix, we are. And we're talking about specifically about MQTT car presence, which is a project from Luma, the same guy who made the HA switch plates. And he updated it so that the automation part of it can be done as a blueprint. What I would love to see is somebody smarter than me make the Arduino code for this into a binary. And we could possibly, I thought about doing it through ESP Home maybe even, but it just needs to be a binary that you can load onto a D1 Mini or whatever else, and it will start up an access point. You log into the access point or you connect to the access point, you put in your home Wi-Fi information, your MQTT broker information, maybe change the name of it if you need to, if you have more than one, and then you're done. And that's it. Because the way he has it now, it's not bad, but you have to start up the Arduino IDE. You got to modify the information directly in the INO file. Then you got to compile it and upload it. And those steps are not always, no, I should say always. Those steps are not easy for somebody who's not familiar with the Arduino IDE and making those kinds of changes. So we could make it more new user friendly if the Arduino code was pre-compiled with an access point method of putting in your information. What is the difference between an ESP8266 and an ESP32? That's a great question. The biggest difference is the 32 is the big brother, the newer big brother. So the 8266 has, whatever size processor, I don't know, whatever chip it uses as its brain. Maybe that is the name of the chip it uses as its brain. And it has, I think 16 pins total or something like that. Whereas the ESP32 has, twice as many. And can do twice as much stuff. So the ESP30 or the 8266 has one analog pin. So you can have analog in and one pin. I think the 32 has 4. The 32 has several pins that have basically the ability to become capacitive touch buttons by just being connected to a wire. You can just touch the wire and the ESP32 can detect that the capacitance has changed in that GPIO pin, and it can be used as an input. So a button, touch button, by just connecting a wire to one of the pins. And then it just has a lot more processing power, so it's faster. I don't know if I could say it's got better Wi-Fi or stronger Wi-Fi, but it's faster, it's more capable, better, and not very much more expensive. I mean, I think an ESP, an 8266, like if you buy a Node MCU or a D1 Mini, you're talking $3 or $4. If you're buying an ESP32, depending on how many you buy and when you get them, it's $5 or $6, maybe $7. So it's not bad. Okay. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Using object recognition with Frigate, but I'm also using ARPI for this as the ID, but I want to go for a Nook. Any recommendations? Go for the blue. Get the Home Assistant blue. That's what I would say. Get the Home Assistant blue. Oh boy, here's all the questions popping up now. All right, let's see. Can you ask if anybody has flashed ESP Home to a wireless tag WT32 ETH01 board? Thanks. Has anybody flashed ESP Home to the WT32 ETH01 board? Is the ETH01 board the one that has the Ethernet connected to it? A wireless tag. I'm pretty sure that ESP30, that the WT32 ETH01 board has a component in ESP Home, but I certainly can't say that I've done anything with it. So if anybody else can, KW Ryder is asking, looking for some help. Does anyone know if there's a way to use it actually touch a screen, to actually touch a screen? I have a lamp with touch buttons I'd like to try to automate. Google just shows me the results of adding touchscreen to the ESP32. So Shark Tamer, you want the ESP32 to like reach out a finger and touch the screen on your other device? Like a switch bot? Is that what you mean? Dang. Yeah, I can't. I was thinking, is there a way you could just bypass the touch screen? But probably not on that lamp. Probably not. Exactly. So use this. If that's the case, if you really do want it to touch the touch screen, then try SwitchBot. Do you remember SwitchBot? Do you remember what those were? Those are those Bluetooth little battery-powered boxes that have a little lever that come out. They have a little servo inside and a little lever that comes out and touches things. But if that touch screen is, depending on what kind of touch screen it is, if it's capacitive touch, it might not work with a little plastic thing touching it. It might need a little something else that'll hold a charge a little bit. Use the SwitchBot to flush your toilet. So did I. So did I, Albert. Send current to the pad or something. Maybe. So you would need it out. So if you could. So I guess I've never tried that. But I don't see why. In that case, potentially, what if the wire, you just had a wire coming off of one of the pins on the ESP32 setting on the touch screen, and when it goes high, when that pin goes high, it outputs some electricity. Maybe that would do it. You got that idea from me, Albert? That was pretty funny. That was actually quite a fun video to make. The SwitchBot one. They work great for RF remotes and generate a new code on each use. Attached one into your phone stylus thing. Yeah, I was thinking that. So good enough. Attach something to the SwitchBot so that when it touches it, it gives it a little bit of static electricity. But I see what he's saying too. Shark Tamer's maybe just running a wire might work. All right, the kids are here. I think it's time for El sign off. So we may talk about the MQTT car presence next week. We may get to play with this, which is the ESP32 TTGo dev board. We didn't show you any pictures of the Hobbit hole, so we'll end with that tonight. So here are some pictures of, more pictures. This is like the top of it. You can see like all the waterproofing stuff on all those flipping bolts. And the tape, well, this doesn't even show all the tape. This was in the morning before we started taping it all. So many bolts. So many bolts. This, I think, was later in the day when we had some of the tape on. Here's some of the inside. First order of business tonight is clean up a bit. It's a dang disaster in there. And then these got this waterproof stuff. Unfortunately, they bought some that was gray instead of white. So we're going to have to do a lot of filling in here and sanding and get that ready for paint. And then there's just some more different views of the different area. That's the view out the master bedroom. Pretty sweet, eh? Which one? Yeah. Oh, me and you?
No, we put it in the wrong spot.
Oh, that.
Yeah, we had that.
Oh, we had this one here. Yeah, we might miss that. For legal reasons, what you guys are seeing is now a green field. That's true. All right. So I thought maybe I'd give you that little peek. All right. Okay, now the kids just some on their own. I want to see that NodeRED automation. Oh! The NodeRED, it worked fine. It worked really good. It's my sign-off button doesn't work. I actually have to go into Home Assistant and turn it on. But here you go. This is all we did, Sir Goodenough. We did this daddy left work thing, and then it just feeds into my automation. So now when I leave work, my Life360 tracker goes from work to not home using this trigger state node. Then it starts it off, and it works. It's pretty easy. Moves like we're moving into Teletubby land. I've heard the Teletubby thing before. Yesterday we were up there working, and the guy I was working with, Jose, he says, "Hey, there's somebody here." And we looked up the hill, and there was a SUV full of family up there, and dad and a couple kids had gotten out, and it looked like they had gone over to the RV to see if anybody was home, but they're just looking down at us. And so I stopped. I was just watching to see, I wasn't expecting anybody, and he just waved at us, and so we waved back at him, and then they started taking pictures. Who knows who they were, where they came from? They just drove by and they saw some dudes building this big green bubble out in the middle of nowhere, and decided they were going to stop and take some pictures. So thought you had one at 4:30. The kids just show up. Oh, I think I should, huh? Okay, let's do this for the little girls, or should we just sign up with these boys? No, the girls. If we don't tell the girls, they'll get upset. They're right there. So I have to put a sign off button in here because, oops, because this is too much of a process.
It's time for sign off. It's time for sign off. It's time for sign
And we didn't play with why the Google one wasn't working. Is the sign off button in here? Okay. All right. Hi, everybody.
My ear is so...
Zach, the Headless Horseman. Okay, how should we sign off today? What do you guys think?
Like, we're all tired.
Sign off like Dawson gets to go to the Hobbit Hole tomorrow with us. So that means that everybody else is going to be sad and Dawson's going to be happy.
What?
Ready? As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, adios.
Why would we be sad? We get away from Dawson.
Oh.
Easy.
Okay, bye everybody. We'll see you live from the Hobbit